Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy C. Will back to you with another video. And man, look what we have here. We have the Apple Pencil Pro. And you definitely need this to get all the features that you want out of the main star of the show, which is the iPad Pro 13-inch Space Black with the M4 chip, 256 gig. Yeah, I didn't go top of the line or anything like that. And because I'm definitely just going to be using this as a companion to my MacBook Pro, my Apple Watch, and my iPhone 16 Pro. Now, I did go top of the line with this. This is 1 terabyte, but we'll get into that probably in a different video as we talk about Apple Intelligence and ProRes and all that stuff. But I edit photos, and so that's the reason for this combination here. And then I also have a Targus. Now I picked this up. I started to get the actual Magic Keyboard, but that's like $350, and I wasn't going to be using the iPad Pro as a laptop replacement because you know the Magic Keyboard comes with the trackpad and all that. It's fancy. It's like super fancy. Look like it's floating in the air and all that. I don't know. Maybe I may pick it up. It is a nice piece of technology. You know I like technology. But I have this case here specifically made for the actual iPad 13-inch M4 version. And that's because they changed the body of it. And I sold my last iPad Pro because I felt like I wasn't really using it that much. And so, look, I treated myself. So let's do an open box. Let's take a look at it and see what the first impressions are. And see, well, how we like it. Okay, been a while since I did an unboxing, so I'm excited. All right, so let's take a look at here in the back. I actually ripped this by mistake, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna pull that tab off, and then we will pull this tab off. All right, now that we had those tabs off, again, we had the 256 gigabyte version here, iPad Pro 13-inch M4. This is the Wi-Fi plus the cellular. And so, yeah, this one, I always get the actual cellular versions because I go through my carrier, which is Verizon. And with them, they always make the process super easy. And so this particular version, this is pretty much the base model of the 13-inch. And without the actual cellular, I think it's like $12.99. With the cellular, I think it's like $14.99. I know for iPad, it's crazy. But okay, so first impressions on picking this up, this is super light. And this is actually super thin. I don't know if you could actually see how thin this is, but when I tell you it is thin, it is thin. Oh my goodness. So let's do the peel. Woo. Let me tell you. Oh my. And can you see? Man, this thing is thin. Let me tell you something. This is the iPhone 16 Pro, right? Okay, let me take this out of the case real quick. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Here's how thin this is, and here's how thin the iPad is. Look at that. Look how thin the actual iPad is up against the iPhone. That is insane. And so, yeah, definitely make sure that you get a case with the iPad. You definitely need to make sure that you get a case. Ooh, boy. Okay. All right. So super thing. I'm glad I'm gonna tell you, if you're unsure about which size model that you think that you should get, the 13-inch is perfect to me. I used the 11-inch inside the store and I didn't like it. It seems like it was a little bit too small, and plus with editing pictures and possibly even editing some video, I would rather have the bigger screen than not. So there's that. So make sure that you get a case for this because you're definitely going to need it. All right, so on the back comes with a 12 megapixel camera that can shoot 4K ProRes, which I don't think I will ever do. For the most I think I will ever use this camera for is maybe taking pictures of documents to maybe sign and different stuff like that. But I have the glossy version. So this comes with two different versions. It comes with a nano screen, or you could get the standard glossy screen. I wanted the actual standard glossy screen because this is a tandem OLED screen. It gets up to 1600 nits in HDR brightness and 1000 nits brightness just on the actual regular brightness of the screen, which is crazy, by the way. But with this being OLED, that nano screen is like a matte texture, and it's best with a glossy display. Now, if you know me, you know my channel, like I have two OLED monitors and they're both glossy. I have the, well, I get into the, specs about that in a different video, but I prefer glossy. So that's that. Let's take a look at the actual Apple Pencil. We'll go ahead and open that up. We'll open up everything at one time. Okay, so that slides out. And let's see what we have here. So in the box, ooh, this is nice. Apple Pencil Pro. Apple Pencil Pro. So nice. Yes, this is nice. That comes in a box. I don't know if anything else comes in the actual box versus, nope, that's it. Pamphlets. So that's cool. That comes in the box. I'm gonna slide this to the side because I think there are some other items that's in the box with the iPad. So it does come with a charger brick, and these are these are hard to come. Like, you don't even get a charging brick with the actual iPhone anymore. But so this is good that it comes with. I think this is a 35 watt, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, this is a 20 watt. So this is a 20 watt charger, and we do get the actual braided USB-C, space black cable. So that's pretty cool. I wish they would have made the actual charger also space black, but they didn't. So that's what comes in the box with the iPad, Apple Pencil, and let's take a look at the actual case. So this is the Targus Versa VU, and I'll put a link in the description below. Amazon affiliate links if you would like to check out some of these products. No additional cost to you, but if you click on the links and you happen to purchase something that you see in the video, it definitely helps out the channel. But again, this is specifically made for the 13-inch iPad Pro M4. So when you're picking these up, make sure that you're getting the actual right one for the model iPad that you have. And with this, it has drop protection up to 4 feet, but I don't plan on dropping my iPad. You can actually rotate this 360 degrees, and it has actual space for the Apple Pencil that also charges that Apple Pencil at the same time while it's in the case. So this is pretty dope. So taking this out, the actual box. Let's open this up. So it's different ways that you can actually open this up. And again, it has different options to be able to prop this up. And then this also turns. Oh, there it is. All right, so it's a little stiff. This does turn like that. So yeah, that's pretty good if you want to be able to use the actual iPad in portrait mode. So let's turn this back. Let's lock it back. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put the iPad in the case. And so I don't think this is a difficult process. It seems like it's a rubber silicone. Maybe I should have put the camera side in first. Let's try that. I guess the main thing that we could do right now is test out the ease of use with actually using this. And I think that's the best way to go, is putting the camera side in first. And then the rest just kind of sets in. Or maybe not. There we go. All right. So obviously I am going to get a screen protector for the iPad. I just haven't figured out which one that I'm going to get. But for right now, I am going to use the case. And that's the actual case. So it protects all the way around. So you have the actual cutout here for the charger. So you have that's available. But all the way around, it protects the actual iPad. And yep, iPad comes with multiple cameras and all that good stuff. And even on this side, as you can see, you can actually put the Apple Pencil and it is supposed to charge. You have the camera buttons for up, down, and I mean, not the camera, but the volume buttons up and down. And yeah, so I tell you what, let's turn on the iPad power button up at the top here for the first time. And there goes the Apple logo. And let me find my, one thing I want to do is make sure I have a microfiber cloth. I purchased a bunch of these a while ago. And let's see now that I'll be wiping this off a lot. So the iPad came partially charged with 59% on the battery. So that's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to make sure I get this charged up. And then I will go ahead and set this up because it does come with cellular, so I need to activate it. And then we'll come back with everything else. Okay, guys, so I was able to get everything set up. And hopefully you can be able to see the screen pretty well here. So a couple of things I wanted to mention, definitely the FaceTime. So looking at this here, definitely you get a chance to see me on screen. But the actual front-facing camera here is 12 megapixels, it's 1080p. It's actually been upgraded to include what they call a center stage. So as I move around, the actual camera moves around as well. It zooms. So if you're doing Zoom meetings or maybe you're teaching certain things, stuff like that, and actually, let me see, work a little bit better here. It definitely does the thing. And so if I kind of hide behind my camera and it still picks up on it. But yeah, this is actually pretty cool. They put this on the new MacBooks, the new iMacs, and of course, iPad Pro M4. All the M4 chips got the good stuff. So in my MacBook Pro M3, it does not include center stage, which is crazy. I thought that should be like anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So I thought that was fun. A couple other things I just want to, the actual camera that's on the back. So it's looking at my dirty keyboard that's in the background. But that's I believe that's a 12 megapixel camera on the back, but it does 4K ProRes and all that stuff, but nobody's using the camera on the back of an iPad except for maybe scanning documents and stuff like that. So that's neither here nor there. The pencil. So let me tell you something about the pencil. This pencil is actually pretty dope. So let me show you this. If we go to, all right, so here in a note, so you actually have an option of squeeze. And when you do that, and I don't know if you could be able to see that, try to zoom that in a little bit here. But it gives you this almost kind of like a little pinwheel, and you can be able to choose between the eraser, the scribble. You can actually go to the actual color wheel, and that has a undo and a forward button, and all that good stuff. So it's pretty dope. So let me show you. So there's also a double tap. So when I double tap this, I actually have it set up, and it will switch between. I actually have it set up for the eraser and then the actual pencil, and then so example. This is scribble, but let's say if I don't want to scribble, I want to go to the marker, and I can actually tap that again. If I want to make that thicker, I can, and I can just start typing. I can start writing. The man jumped, right? And so that's what so if I double tap, it's going to give me my eraser, and I can start erasing what I just did. And this is pretty dope because this is not on any of the previous pencils. There wasn't a double tap. It wasn't any gestures. You couldn't squeeze it. But squeezing this again pulls up the actual pinwheel, and that is pretty dope. Along with that, you have some other things that you could actually be able to do, but this is just inside the actual Notes app, and it does a pretty good job with doing that. So first impressions, I absolutely love it. I actually use this for Photoshop, and I don't have Photoshop downloaded just yet. I'm going to do that in a different video with the different ways you can actually be able to use the Apple Pencil, but definitely I'm going to be using this for editing photos. believe it or not, and it's phenomenal. Because like if you was doing this on a computer, you would need like a Wacom tablet with the pen and all this different type of stuff. But I could actually be able to use this, and I've done it before. And with the new options on the actual pencil, definitely, I want to be able to do that again. Also, just a couple of first impressions that I have. The battery life on this has been phenomenal. The screen on here is crazy, and the speakers. So I don't know if this will, I can't play any copyright stuff, but I can go to my YouTube and just listen to the actual speakers. And I have this turned all the way up. The one thing that I like about this case is that it covers up the speakers, but it gives these perforated holes on the side. So it's 4 speakers on the iPad. So one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here. And the way that this case is designed, these holes actually brings the sound forward. So instead of it going out to the side, it actually pulls it forward, and it's pretty dope. So this is a video of me playing Black Myth Wukong. If you haven't checked out this video, definitely I'll put a link in the description below. But this is a phenomenal game, and this is one of the boss fights. And if I fast forward this just a little bit here, and I had the volume all the way up, and again, hopefully you can be able to hear how good the speakers are. All right, so that's just one of the videos. I'm definitely going to see if I have another video where there's dialogue with me talking in it, and I'm pretty sure that I have one.
High voltages where, like single core sitting at idle or all core, depending on if you had your actual, your power settings wide open, and the default motherboard settings that all look.
So that's just a little brief, and I'm definitely going to do some more testing on a lot of the other features and stuff with the iPad, but so far so good. Again, I haven't had a chance to test out the actual 5G cellular chip that's built in here, so I'm definitely going to be taking this on just with me, just going around out and about. Definitely want to test out the screen in the daylight and maybe possibly sitting at a coffee shop, stuff like that. One more thing that I have to show you, and this is just a bonus because I'm going to do a deeper video into this, actually using the iPad as an additional monitor to my MacBook. So let me grab my MacBook, and I'll show you how you can be able to connect these two together and use the actual feature called Sidecar. Okay, so what we have here, we got the MacBook Pro on the left, and then we have the iPad 13-inch on the right. And so what I'm going to do is show you something that's really cool. And so one of the things that I think I could benefit from using this, especially if I'm on the go, whether it's working or I have some video editing that I need to do, and I need an extra monitor to see, so I could use all of the real estate on my 16-inch and then use the actual iPad as a reference monitor for looking at what I'm editing. So check this out. So if you go inside here to the settings, and if you see here, it shows you options for being able to use, well, let me show you this. So if we back out, so when you go to displays, you have the option to add, and as you can see here, you have the option to be able to add the iPad. It automatically, because I'm signed in with my Apple ID on both accounts and stuff like that, it automatically pops up, and you could be able to connect wirelessly. So once you have that up, so there's no cables connected in between these two. So we're going to do this wirelessly. So once you choose your iPad, you could then arrange the actual, so if you use multiple monitors before, you could be able to arrange these the way that you want. I had to put my MacBook on the left, put the iPad on the right, because that's how I have it set up right here. And then what you do, if you click on the iPad, if you wanted to, here are options for show the sidebar if you wanted to, the touch bar, all this different type of stuff. You could be able to do that. Enable double tap on the Apple Pencil. I can also do that as well. Down here at the bottom, because I already have this connected, boom, I could actually be able to use this as an extension. So it's an extended window from my desktop, from my MacBook. And this is done wirelessly. Now, the cool thing about this is that on the actual MacBook Pro, it has three, well, on my particular one, three Thunderbolt, I think it's Thunderbolt 4. It's either 3 or 4. But anyways, I can actually be able, it has two USB-C ports on the left-hand side, one USB-C, and they're all Thunderbolt. But you can actually be able to connect that to the actual iPad if needed to keep it charged. So there's another thing, so I can actually be able to use this all day long, and boom, I got a 2 monitor setup, and I can either keep it wirelessly or I can do whatever. So, and as you can see, I'm using my mouse cursor and I'm going from left to right, left to right. So what's dope about this is that if I open up Final Cut Pro, all right, cool. So I was working on a couple of things here, and let's just say that if I had multiple lines I wanted to use with it like that, now I actually have options to be able to play this and then actually use the iPad as a reference monitor. So looking at what I'm playing, I don't have to have that on the same screen, which allows me to be able to do other stuff on this screen while that's doing that. And yeah, man, that's phenomenal. Just being able to actually have something like this set up, and it works so effortlessly. Like, you don't have to do anything special, and I can do it without any cables. The battery life on the MacBook Pro is crazy. Like, I could go all day editing on this, and you don't have to have the actual power plugged in to get the full use out of it. It runs, you get full use of the power just off of the battery, which is phenomenal. And being able to use the iPad as a companion. So when I'm on the go, I can have pretty much a full setup, and being able to use, the mouse, the MX. Yeah. So this is phenomenal. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I have some more content that's going to be coming up about just being able to use these as a combination, and also being able to use Photoshop for the iPad, doing more stuff with the pencil. Apple Intelligence and all the stuff is definitely going to be in a separate video. I just want to show you what the unboxing experience was like with the actual iPad, and also just being able to show you what my first impressions are. And first impression is this thing is great. It's phenomenal. And I'm thinking about getting a Magic Keyboard, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.